Good evening, Fragcom. Welcome back. My name is Jonathan. This is part 6 of the collection series. We're almost home. 3-4 more shelves, and that should wrap up this series. This is not one of the bigger shelves, but it certainly has some goodies on it. So we'll do a little housekeeping, and then we'll just jump right in. Coffee cup of the day. Lighthouses. My father collects anything lighthouse. Lighthouses to coffee cups with lighthouses on it. Don't ask me why. We collect shit around here. That's how it goes. Okay, scent of the day. I'm really enjoying this one. This is Ombre Oud by Baldessarini. And this is such a good fragrance. One of the booziest fragrances in my collection. Whiskey, mandarin, apple, and I think leather, violet, and patchouli in the mid, and it's got amber and labdanum in the base. Baldessarini's has some really surprisingly good stuff. They're a spin-off of Hugo Boss, I believe, and I'll tell you what, they put out decent fragrances for the price. I don't think I paid $40 for this, from the bottle to the fragrance, and there's quite a few in this line that are decent. I might have to go and sort out a few more. Okay, I am sampling something. I was talking to a friend about this, so I decided to revisit it. This is Samurai by Alain Delon, and this is an aquatic floral, and if I'm honest, when I first smelled it, it's nice, but I wasn't totally impressed with it. But I've let it sit on the shelf for a while, and I put that dent in there, so putting a little air in the bottle. It's a great bottle too, right? Put a little air in the bottle, and it seems like the vetiver has come to the forefront a little bit. There's a slight hint of smoke now, kind of enriching this fragrance, and it's kind of interesting. I love that when I revisit something and it's kind of matured a little bit. Okay, we're just gonna dive right in. Like I said, there's not too much on this shelf, but what's here is pretty decent. So I don't have to say too much about this. You all know what this is. This is Tuscany per Uomo by Aramis. Big fan of the house. This is an older bottle. However, I've said it before. The Aramis, I have older Aramis and newer Aramis, and Aramis takes care of their fragrances. Some of the older ones are a little bit better. I mean, they're a little richer. The materials are a little bit better, but for their moderns, they really take care in reformulations. One of the few houses that do. Okay, we're just going to dive right in, I guess. Going to take a walk down Creed Lane. This is a partial that I got from Anouge from Enchanté. I was curious about this since I'm such a big fan of the next one coming up here. This is a Rolfa, and this is an older bottle, and it's maybe like 10-15 mils in there, and I'm really enjoying this. I wasn't sure, how I felt about this, and I wanted to get my nose on it before I went after an older bottle and ponied up decent money. So one of these days I'm going to have to go after an older bottle, and from what I hear, the newer ones aren't quite worth it. So if I do go after a bottle, it'll have to be the older one, and so that's that. And this one is this is an older bottle of Virgin Island water, and this is a 2008 bottle, I believe. I really like this one. It's a perfect summer scent. It's just that sunscreen, tropical vacation kind of a fragrance. I really like that one. Here is a really good fragrance. from either the masculine or the feminine. This is one of the better from the house, and this is Venetia, and it's a great bottle too. Venetia is a beautiful amber, vanilla, spicy fragrance. The quality of these older Creeds are, man, Creed did good things, man. They did real good things. Okay, this is another goodie from the house, and this is Royal Mayfair. And I'll be honest, when I first sampled Royal Mayfair, I had a pretty good sized decant a long while back, and I kept revisiting it, not because I liked it, because it was just so curious and strange. The florals just, I don't know, they intrigued me, and the more I sampled it, the more I kind of grew to love it, and I really like this fragrance. That is a really good one from the house. This may be one of my favorites from the house, maybe my favorite from the house, and this is Bois de Portugal, and I put that dent in there. This is just the quintessential masculine. It's just, if you ever created a fragrance, you'd hope you do something like this. It's just so balanced, and it spans the decades from the 70s to the 80s to the 90s. It just keeps working. 2022, and I'll wear that all day long. It's class in a bottle. Okay, we got two from this house here. We're kind of switching gears. This is from BDK. This is Oud Ambermad. I don't know how well you can see these really bright white labels. Oud Ambermad, it's really kind of nice. Kind of a classy, dry, woody oud. I like that. I like that one. This one's pretty good too. This is Creme de Cuir, pardon me. Creme de Cuir by PDK. I like these bottles. They're super heavy. The caps are heavy. Now, in one of my earlier videos, I mentioned that Cuir Cuba from Parfum de Nicolai, something was reminding me of that, and in revisiting this today, it's this. Creme de Cuir reminds me of, I'll be honest, I don't know which one came out first, Cuir Cuba or Creme de Cuir, but these two are very similar. Yeah, so that's mystery solved there. Okay, here is a fragrance that has really grown on me and turned into a love, and this is number 18, with Chanel, the big boy bottle. Now, I've mentioned before that 19 is my favorite. All iterations, mainly the Parfum, but 18 has really grown on me, and I'll wear that anytime. I like that fragrance. Such an easy wear. Really a beautiful fragrance. Okay, it's time to start taking the unicorns out for a walk. This is Gucci Pour Homme 1. Gucci Pour Homme, actually, but it's the second coming of Gucci Pour Homme. Tom Ford Air. This is a great fragrance. This is kind of like the Bois de Portugal, in that it's just a quintessential masculine fragrance. Now, Michel Amarac shopped this DNA around, and I have a few of them. The Papyrus Oud 71, and I think there's some Bentley fragrances out there. But there's nothing like the original, in my opinion. And Papyrus Oud does its own thing, I think. That's a good fragrance right on its own. Okay, another one from the House of Gucci, and this is Envy. And this is the original packaging and the original release. This is very good, very unique. I don't know anything else that smells like it. For me, somebody else might, but I really like Gucci Envy. This one of the quartet may be my favorite, and this is Gucci Pour Homme 2. These bottles, I love these bottles, man. I wish companies would take the time and consideration to you just know these bottles on sight, and companies just aren't doing that. They're going after those cheap bulk rate, decanter bottles that you can get anywhere for $1. But enough of that. Great fragrance, probably the best from the line for me. It's a great summertime fragrance. Now this one, I have to say, if I'm honest, was a little bit disappointing, and I almost knew that it was going to be disappointing because I have another fragrance that I mentioned called Azzaro Visit, and when I got my nose on this one and did a side by side, if I'm honest, Azzaro Visit's better. It's just more full-bodied. It's just got a little more character. This one is a little fleeting. If I'm honest, it's not worth the unicorn status, and it's not worth the big money. I happened to get this for a decent price, and if I hadn't got it for the decent price that I got it for, I would have been pretty upset. But as a collector, it's kind of cool to have to round out that quartet from Gucci. But elsewise, it's just not that good. That's the bottom line. Okay, from one unicorn to another. One of the best bottles in the game, full stop. This is Van Cleef & Arpels Midnight in Paris. And this is the Eau de Toilette. And I love this fragrance. This is very good. It's not the most unique fragrance in the world, but it is very good. I have a couple of other fragrances that I think kind of do a similar thing, but it's nice to have a Van Cleef & Arpels. The Eau de Parfum is really hard to find. I don't know that I'll ever be able to include that in the collection. Okay, this is the modern iteration of Antaeus. And Chanel's another house that takes care of their reforms. Very good. And I'm probably a quarter through this bottle already. I wear it quite a bit. It's just good. It's just good. Okay. This is a Santa Maria Novella, and this is Tobacco Toscano. And got this in an apothecary in Chicago, and I really like this. I really like this a lot. However, and you can see the dent I put in it. You have to really overspray this to get any kind of a wear out of it. It's a little on the lighter side, if I'm honest, but the fragrance itself is fantastic. Okay, here is one of two from the house that I have. And this is a Francis Kirkjohn, if I'm not mistaken, and this is For Him by Narciso Rodriguez. And this is a great fragrance. This is a great fragrance. I don't know what else to tell you. If you don't have this, go get this. And I think they're discontinued, and I think they're starting to get harder to find. Yeah, I really like this. Francis Kirkjohn, like I said, for other houses, the guy does good work. I have a couple of fragrances like Eau Noir and a few others that where he really shines. This is a feminine offering, and this is called Narciso Rodriguez For Her, and this is Amber Musk. Sorry, I couldn't think of the name. Kind of a cool bottle. I like how they do the paint on the inside of the glass. Yeah, so Amber Musk from Narciso Rodriguez For Her. And this is a great fragrance. This is really nice. I have no problem rocking this fragrance at all. Narciso Rodriguez does good fragrances. Okay, this is from the house of Florist London, and I have a few of these. And this is called Limes. And I love lime in a fragrance, and this one does lime in spades. And this is a great out of the shower gym fragrance. The quality is really high too. For a citrus fragrance, it lasts a pretty decent amount of time. Okay, let's see. This is maybe one of my favorites from the house. This is leather oud, and this is really good. This is really good. Sorry for the flicker. I can't seem to figure out how to solve that. One of these days I'll figure it out. Well, leather oud, anyway. It's not like its namesake from Dior. This one's a little more direct and a little boozy, where leather oud from Dior is a little more buttery and skanky. That one's a little cleaner, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe this is my favorite from the house, and this is Vert Fougere. And this is a green smoke. Yeah, like a green smoke. That's the best way I can describe it. That's how it was described to me, and as soon as you put your nose on it, you understand what that means. It's a smoky fougere. It's really very good. Yeah, maybe my favorite from the house. This is honey oud, and this is a more round oud, more nuanced. It's the honey in here is really nice, really very nice. The quality in this house to price is really good. This is Elite, and I didn't get this very long ago, so I'm still kind of working this one out. But this one's very nice. It's very nice, spicy, kind of barbershop, fougere kind of a fragrance. Still getting to know that one. Okay, what's next? Okay, we have two from the house of Robert Graham, and this one is Fortitude. And look at these bottles. And I wish I had the 250 mils of these bottles, because they're phenomenal presentations. They have like an animal on the top and like a kind of a brass cap, and but look at that dent I put in this. Fortitude is a phenomenal fragrance, and there's a trio of them, and I also have Valor, and this one is also very good. From what I hear, these two are the better of the three. There's a third one called Courage that is, from what I understand, a vodka fragrance. I don't know what that means, but from what I've heard and read, the Courage is a little bit more of a mass appeal. But I'm still going to go after it. I think it's still on like the discounters for $70 or so. So I'll end up rounding out that collection eventually. Okay, this is from the house of Olympic Orchids, and this is Ellen Covey's Night Flyer. And what Night Flyer is the original formula of Bat from Zoologist. And I was really bowled over by Bat when I first smelled it. I had a sample of it, and there's this curious soil note, and there's a banana note in the background, and man, it's such a unique fragrance. There's nothing else like it, in my opinion. And when I finally went after Bat, it was discontinued, and I think they reformulated it, and I wasn't able to get it, but this was available, and I'm really happy that I got this. And Olympic Orchid has quite a few. Ellen Covey does good work. There's quite a few from her house that I would like to add to my collection. Okay, and speaking of Zoologist, this is one of my favorites from the house. I have two or three others on my list to go after, but this one is wonderful. This is Rhinoceros. And Rhinoceros is probably one of the power plants from the house. This is a strong fragrance. You gotta buckle up when you wear this. It's a whiskey fragrance, and it's so good. I'm really happy to have this. I would say the other couple that I'd like to add to the collection, since I have Bat already, Squid is at the top of my list. I'd love to have T-Rex, and There's a couple more, but those are the ones that I'd like to add to the collection. Okay, from Zadig and Voltaire. This is for him. Really good fragrance, and I think this is kind of in that Bulgari black, kind of Midnight in Paris kind of a vibe. I know it's an incense fragrance, but it has that creaminess of the ones I just mentioned. For me, I don't know. Maybe I don't know what I'm talking about, but so okay. Now this house had always been curious, and I've been wondering what it's about. And it's Frank Bucklet, and they do the one note kind of a thing, and this is the leather. I haven't been impressed with this, I gotta be honest with you. If this was any good, I was gonna go after Oud and some of the other ones, but now I'm a little hesitant just because this one didn't really bowl me over. I may have to leave it sit and revisit it and see what it does, but as it stands, I'm not knocked out by it. Okay, we've got quite a few from this house. This one is Zonka from L'Artisan Parfumeur. Am I right? Yes, Zonka. Zonka's kind of a crazy little fragrance. I got it as a partial. I didn't put that dent in this. But I don't mind wearing it. I really like Zonka. Zonka is a good fragrance. I'm a big fan of this house. This is maybe one of my favorites from the house. This is Mon Numero 10, and this is a really good fragrance. When it's really cold, that fragrance is perfect. Okay, we're doing pretty good. We're almost done, believe it or not. This is another of my favorites, and this is Al Oud. Al Oud is very good. It's a dry, oudy, skanky fragrance. I like it. I like it a lot. This is a popular one from the house, but it's popular for a reason. It's because it's freaking good. This is Timbuktu. Timbuktu is it's just curious. It's just curious. Who would have thunk? Mango. Okay, what do we have here? This is Piment Brûlant. I like Piment Brûlant, but it's a little bit on the mass appeal side, if I'm honest. But still good, easy wear. This is L'Eau d'Ambre. It's the smaller bottle. L'Eau d'Ambre is very good. This is a very good amber. Very good. It's I put it there next to some of the other ambers in my fragrance, like Amber 114 and things like that. Like I said, L'Artisan does good stuff. This is Zing, and Zing is very good. Maybe right there with Al Oud and Mon Numero 10 as my favorite. Those three probably. This is kind of a one-off from the house. This is Arabian Oud, and this is called Kashmir. I don't know how well you can see that. It says the name of the house on the cap, and let's see if we can. Kashmir. Yeah, you can see that. This is a very nice fragrance. It's unlike anything I've got in my collection, and it smells like what you think cashmere would smell like. It's a classy little fragrance, and these bottles are phenomenal. They're like mad heavy. I dig cashmere. It's very good. Okay, here's a kind of a unique little thing that happened to be down on that shelf, and this is I've mentioned before that I'm a big fan of Paco Rabanne Pour Homme, and a a lot of the Paco Rabanne earlier fragrances I'm a big fan of, and this is Pour Homme Eau. And what this is, a glass case, and maybe plastic, but whatever the case, this is the traveled size, and it's kind of a pocket. It's a pocket size, believe it or not. This is a 50 ml, and it comes in this little glass case, and I don't want to take it apart now, but it slides out. It's kind of cool, little travel case. I thought this was a nifty little collector's piece. Yeah, I like anything early Paco Rabanne. Okay, this is a one-off from the house. I'll be honest, I wouldn't mind having more from this house, but they're a little on the pricey side. And this is, why can't I think of the name of this damn fragrance? Kajal, sorry. This is Kajal Pour Homme 2. Pour Homme 1 I had sampled, and it's not very good, if I'm honest. But the Pour Homme 2 is very good. It's it's a little mass appealy, but it's unique. Kajal does very good florals. There are quite a few from the house that I wouldn't mind owning, and their bottles are stunning. Their caps are wild, and they're mad heavy. Yeah, so Kajal. Sorry, I couldn't think of that name. I'm not starting this video over again. You gotta be out of your mind. Okay, here is from the House of Versace, and this is a very good fragrance. A very good little tobacco fragrance, and this is Versace, man. Love the bottle. Love the bottle, love the fragrance. I wear this quite a bit, actually. It's one of those easy reach, sexy little tobacco fragrance. I'm happy to have that. Okay, last but not least, this is Bleecker Street, the only Bond number 9 I have in my collection. And I like it. It's, it's blueberry. I like anything with blueberry, red berries, plum, blackberries, anything like dark fruits. And this has a very curious grassy note, and it gets compared to the Purple Label by Ralph Lauren, but I think they're different enough to have both, which I do. Okay, my friends, that should round it up. We're on to the next shelf. Please forgive me on the little flickers. I'm still trying to work that out. If anybody has any suggestions on like a video program or anything I can do to kind of eliminate that digital flicker. Otherwise, I really appreciate the comments. If there's anything you can teach me about anything I've shown here, any suggestions you want to make, really appreciate the interaction. Y'all have a great day. Stay grateful. Peace.